Nobody is coming in a private practice by choice.
This retire early, retire rich, this concept, so might have come from IITs. So is it a good way of conducting the work?
Somewhere this IT people thought about it that I will make huge money, I will have some 4 crores and all, then I can live on the interest. Our profession will not pay you that kind of a thing. Yes. We are not 100% traders. We are service providers. Service provider need to have a face. If people have the misconception of it, I will have 10 stores, I will have 5 stores, 7 stores, and then I will sell it off.
It's not
Secondly, unnecessarily, we are following OT and PT people. Now, recently, because a certain situation is changing, it was a wake-up call to RCI. And suddenly everything is changed with one notification and everything. कि एक दिन मेरे गांव में एक ऑडियोलॉजिस्ट आएगा, मुझे कान की मशीन देगा. The person is not going to wait for that. You are doing a wonderful job. This is your specialty now. See what best you can do to profession.
So how to deal with this discount challenge?
Actually, we don't have a dream only.
How a private practitioner should do marketing in such competitive age?
That you have a degree, now you are thrown into the ocean and swim without any instruction, directions.
The NCAHP that we are discussing now, should we go with NCAHP? I am truly honored to welcome one of the pioneers of audiology practice in India. She began her exclusive practice in 1983, becoming one of the first to establish such center in the country. With over 4 decades of clinical experience, she has also guided countless patients through her expertise in hearing aid cochlear implant. On a personal note, she has been my teacher, mentor, and I had a privilege working under her guidance, learning the true meaning of value-based, patient-centered practice. Please watch this podcast completely to get the best insights about the private practice. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Kalyani Mandke, a visionary that continues to shape the future of private practice in India. First of all, thank you very much for joining for the today's podcast. So, ma'am, you have been working here since so many years. And over the period of time, our practice has changed dramatically from being purely just clinical, and now it has become more of entrepreneurial. So, what are the major transformation have you observed in private practice since you started, and how these changes influence on the way we are operating today?
Saranand, if you ask me, it was always private practice is an entrepreneur practice. No matter what you consider, and no matter in which business you are in, whether you have a medical profession, you are a doctor, a lawyer, dentist, chartered accountant, it's a business model you want to evolve for your services. So there is an entrepreneurship. It was never as a, clinical something, a unit taken away from the hospital setup or something like that. The unfortunate part of it is speech and hearing professional never thought about the private practice model as such. Second part of it is I personally feel even today, nobody is coming in a private practice by choice, but something to shape up their dream world. They think about it, start from here. Now, if you consider Gen Z population, they have an impact of startup companies. And then they think about, my practice should be like startup company. I will evolve a model. I'll do something on that. And then I will sell my business. So people are not coming here that I'm going to stay here for long. I'm here to sort of, change from one role to other. So that clarity is not there. That is today's scenario. Anyway, in 1983, when I started practice, let me be honest, I was not prepared for private practice. But I got married and I decided to settle in Pune. There were only 2 jobs. One was in Sassoon Hospital and one in KM. Both were, 2 professionals were working, and that was it. There was nothing. So sort of, I was forced into private practice. But then I said, yes, I need to stand tall. I need to do something here. And that's how I started working on it. So I don't think the model has changed from 80s to 2000. Some concepts are changing because we have a false image. We are not traders. We are not commercial. Of course, we are in business, so we are money making people, but we are service providers. And service providers have a slow growth. This is
Right.
something is people are not understanding, and that is a real problem. So it's not like you open the shop and then within no time there will be footfalls. People don't know what is speech and hearing profession is. Who will walk in your clinic? So my favorite quote is, the hearing aid is nobody wants to buy the product I want to sell, that nobody is interested in it and I want to sell it. Even today also I'm living with that challenge. Because every case we have to make a conversion. So that challenge is all the time there. So I don't think the model has changed. The perceptions have sort of, are different.
True, ma'am. So, ma'am, as you said, it has become not a choice, but maybe by a compulsion. They want to try it out. There is maybe a wave of like kind of a startups. But practice may not be for everybody. So, do you think what are the characteristics a person should have? Only then he should think of a private practice.
Actually, we don't have a dream only. Because I personally feel, when any doctor, medical student enters into medical college, he has a dream for his own establishment. A dentist thinks about his own practice. He just starts planning for his, to buy that dental chair, which is supposed to be most expensive part. Lawyer thinks about having his own chamber. Architect, chartered accountant also think about their office as such. But we have not thought about it when I'm in the field. First thing is, it's unfortunate, but after 12th, nobody walks in with the choice to, I want to join speech and hearing program. I missed the boat of medical admission.
Then only I have come to this, definitely.
And
When
then
I
it's
was
all dark.
true. When I'm talking with the students, current students, they say the same thing. Because we couldn't get MBBS, we didn't get physio. Okay, now we're trying with ASLP. That's true.
Something different. But even somebody says, I want to do something different. I want to walk on the road which is less traveled. Then you are ready for the challenges. Here, it's out of no choice, people are here. The unfortunate part of it means I will still blame or I will say the shortcomings of the training program, that the students are with you for 4 years. Teaching program should groom them. They should be giving a exposure about what is business model, what is entrepreneurship, what is it something you want to start your own business, what are the characteristics you should have, how is the thought process. There are so many soft skills involved in it, which are not, given to these students. I think this is a responsibility of the teaching program. It's not only, the clinical model, testing, and testing. We are really trapped into it, whether it's speech and language or whether it is hearing science or electrophysiology. It's testing. What is next? How we are going to impart this information to the client? How we are going to explain these findings? What it means to the patient? We never have this language. Unless we really groom these people, it's very difficult. Because see, in India, it's only the medical model exists. Medical model means to fix it. This is a problem, you fix it and done. But we are into rehabilitative model. This is something you live with it. So what are the compensatory mechanisms required? How is the acceptance is going to be? How to make your change your environment? How you are going to empower the beneficiaries? This kind of information is not pass it on to the people. And what do we expect from them? As it is there, I always feel that you have a degree. Now you are thrown into the ocean and swim without any instruction, directions,
Yeah.
not even defining the roadmap. That's how it is done. It's a very sad picture.
So I think there should be incorporation of some amount of business lessons also in academics. I think that is very important.
with this new education policy, now all programmers, program directors can incorporate this, they can sort of encourage people to do some audit, some program, because universities offer different programs. There are many online programs are there. So, there may not be credit hours for it, or if there is no exam or evaluation, but give that exposure to people. So that is not, it's doable, but it's not thought over. That's so sad part.
True, true. I think somebody in the audience may can start think, we have like something like a CRE programs for professionals. I think somebody can think of having private practice workshop for students in the educational setups. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, ma'am, your clinic is with us since last, but more than 4 decades now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mandke Hearing has been a brand now in Pune and across Maharashtra. It's known for to the people of Solapur and like many other cities also. But creating this brand, what do you think has worked? Is it the continuous ads that has worked? It's your sales process. It is it is just maybe you're staying just on that pitch and just going to the clinic daily. Just is it enough to create a brand? And is it still possible for a private practitioner to create brand like Manki Hearing?
It is. Means it's not something, this is the only thing as such. You know, it's again that you have to think about your roadmap, what it needs to be done. So of course the advertisement one part is there. People should know where to go. That's it. And in 83 when I started, the concept of advertisement was not there only. And I started doing, actually I started with classified ad in newspaper, because that was the cheapest mode, and that's how something. But the consistency in advertisement, that's really helped me a lot. That is first part of it. Next part is when you make people aware that where to go. So once they come in the clinic, the all responsibility lies to me, but how best I can give the service. Now, simple thing, how I got the trust about it, I can tell you. There were only pocket models at that time, analog pocket models. It was very sad affair. I was like to fit the hearing aid. So I was very open with all the people. I said, this is all the hearing aid is. This is an amplifier. This makes louder and softer, and that's it. You try it. If you like the hearing aid, return it. If you don't like it, return the hearing aid. And that really gave the confidence to people that this is not a push sale. And I was honest about it. There is a limitation about the product, and I can't do much changes there. And that's how, it created the confidence in people that I'm allowing them to try it out. I'm saying may not work, or, or this is all we have here. And so you try it. So that is the second part of it. And the third part was about the giving service. So the pocket model, there was a lot of wear and tear because of the slider switch and rotary volume and all other things. It used to fail a lot. So I learned the repairs about the hearing aid. I went to RF electronics. I spent 1 week there, and I learned from soldering and everything. Myself and Dr. Mandke, my husband, we used to repair these hearing aids. So that created the confidence in people that I'm providing the service. I'm supporting them, whatever they have, I want to do best for it. I was the first one who started ear mold making. At that time, there was only in Bombay one person, Navjivan Society, that person was doing ear mold. That was a limited market for certain people as such. But then I said, I will give an ear mold free of cost with the hearing aid, because, the fitting matters. And if you do the good fitting, then the person will use the hearing aid. Now, making the ear mold gave me the flexibility of making vents in the mold and putting damper in the mold or receiver. So I could suppress or, artificially reduce the gain of the hearing aid and bring it to the comfort level. So the service was important. Honesty about, accepting the fact, the limitations of the product, advertisement, and I really like the one quote of late Vijay Merchant, the legendary person in Indian cricket. Probably new generation may not know, but in our time, Vijay Merchant was God to everyone. He used to always say, "Stay at the wicket, runs will be there." And even today, also, I will tell everyone, "Stay at the wicket, runs will be there." So
Right.
that's always a combination of all three.
So it's a consistent marketing. You have to be honest with what your recommendation you're giving, and also give a proper services. And yes, you have to keep doing it, not staying at the wicket, the most important thing. True. So, ma'am, with marketing, as you said, it's important that you do consistent marketing. Those days you had maybe very few limited number of channels, let's say radio or newspaper, or maybe mostly the TV ads. But nowadays we have so much, many ways you can do the advertising. And at the same time, you have so many players doing advertising for the same person. So in these challenging situations, how do you go ahead about marketing? Do you again still go for consistent marketing? Then the ROI might be questionable. We don't know how much ROI will come. So the ROI is, when we can talk about the business sense, it becomes very not very logical to focus every effort on every channel. It is not possible to focus all your efforts. So how a private practitioner should do marketing in such competitive age?
There is no substitute for marketing. You have to do some or other kind of marketing. Now, why you want to see always, I go on TV, I will have advertisement by IPL matches are on or something like that. These are unattainable goals for us. We are not, multinational company or anything. We can sort of compete with them. So think about it, Billy, small is beautiful. Now, whosoever is, whatever the area is practicing, think about it. What is the radius to be covered? See, because essentially we are dealing with elderly population, children or elderly population. That's our sort of a target population. So commuting is a problem. Nobody will make a travel for 20 kilometers or 30 kilometers at that kind of a distance. Of course, earlier I enjoyed that because in Maharashtra there was none. So people used to come from Aurangabad, Solapur, Nashik and all. So I enjoyed all that. Means I have a lot of statistic I have kept and all that. So 60% of my clientele at that time were outstation. But now in a 95 or 2000 onward, it dropped significantly because there are many options have become very available as such. But coming back to the point, you define your radius, who will come in your area. So what are who will be the visitors? So generally is, 5 to 7 kilometer radius is what you need to really think about it. So how best you can get those people? If you think about TV channel or this any digital marketing, Google or all other, the reach is so much. Somebody in outstation, somebody from Amravati district sees my ad. What good it is? Somebody thinks about from Madhya Pradesh and Mumbai and all. It's no good to us. So why to jump on all that? So what is simple and doable, you have to really think about it. Means I still feel, that paper inserts or advertisement on bus stops or small hoardings in different or sponsoring in local events where your board will be there or things like that. Reaching out to senior citizen club or some charitable organizations and all, and ask them, can I put my board there? Of course, it will be paid. Medical stores, you can put your ad in that, display. You pay them that one. I have not done that kind of a thing, but you can pay to medical stores and say that just please display this, handbill here, and I will pay you monthly charge because those are the people are likely to come to your place. And we are not asking them to refer to us. What we are saying is just make this information available to people and then they will come. So we have to think about these strategies. Why we have to think about always, think big, think big. But can I afford it? Am I having any sponsor? Am I something, in the long run, what am I going to do with it? We need to answer this question. Nobody is going to shell out money for us. Is your simple thing in, financial world, we always say Unless you invest, you will not get the yield. Same way, unless you put something in your business, how you will get the returns? Nobody is going to help you. This is another thing, people think companies should, help us. Companies should be doing. Why should they do? We are,
True.
dealers, distributor, whatever is there. We are one of the player with them. So why should they, that? And then the terms are dictated, because then company will say, okay, we will help you. We want this kind of a business from you. Then you enter into wrong thing. You sign up some papers, commit something, this kind of a turnover, I'll do it. And then you realize, oh, sorry, I can't do it. Company may tolerate you for some time, and then later on there may be a penalty, or they will revise the price they were offering to you, or they may stop supplying you. And then we say so and so is not keeping up the word. Actually, you are not keeping your promise of giving that kind of a turnover. But why did you commit for that kind of a figure when it was not reachable? You dreamt about it, but that does not mean it will be the reality. So it's a lot of things people have to think about it, who am I and how much I can do it. That's very important.
True. So, ma'am, yeah, you said it's more of we should focus on localized marketing, maybe within 5 years of radius from our clinic. So, okay, we did marketing. The patient has come to clinic. We have done all the counseling which is required, and now we it is asking how much discount. Okay, no, that XYZ is giving me so much discount. Can you match that? Can you give 5,000 rupees less than that? So how a private practitioner should deal with such things? For should he say no, we cannot, I cannot go below this, or okay, should he agree? Okay, what I have a business to run, I have expenses on my head. Let's agree whatever it takes. At least my sale is happening. Let's take whatever little profit I'm getting. So how to deal with this discount challenge?
How much you want to bow to your customer matters a lot. That's very first thing. Secondly, person sitting on the other side of the table always wants discount. So somebody is going to negotiate with you, and person sitting on this side of the table will say, I don't want to give discount. My favorite quote has been, is Chitale ani Mandke, never give discount. So I have been saying for years together. So basically, we have to learn to say no. And we are not saying that, because somebody will walk out of your place is your real concern. But each and every client who walks in your clinic will not be your potential buyer. He might have come just for to make a survey. Actually, if you really study the hearing aid industry, hearing aid market, how the thought processes are and all, so the conversion rate in hearing aid is very low. It's only 30%. So now, but you want to have 10 on 10, which is again not possible. And somebody who walks out of your clinic has not gone to the competitor. He has gone home because he is not ready for the hearing aid. He has not made up his mind. And few months later, he will come. And somebody who walks out of your clinic, forget about him. Don't call somebody, your friend or someone, this is the phone number, this is something, you please contact him and then get his, the business. We will share it. These are not the right approach of the practice. Why you are so insecure? That is very important. Say goodbye to him. Nothing will happen. We walk out of the shop, don't we? We
True.
every time you go for any kind of a shopping, we decide, no, I need time. I need something to think about it. Sometimes the price is high. Sometimes you like that product, but it's too high price. So you want to plan it, or you want to just think about it. Can I really go and make a big jump, or I settle for less? So individual needs time to think about it. And hearing aids are expensive, very expensive. My another favorite point is always that way. We are grown ups, so all this time I always say that you have your parents and your in-laws. So there are 4 adults in your family. All 4 need hearing aid, binaural fitting. So 8 units to be given to all these people. Which model you will give it to them? Now think about it. You put yourself in that room and then think about it. That what you will do. It's not a mirror image. You live with it. You just put yourself in that shoe and think about it. Then the decisions you will understand the thought process. So the discount is something, we indulge into it. And it's a very insecurity. I don't want to leave this client. I just don't want to do this and all. Say goodbye to him. Nothing will happen.
Right. So every conversion is not required to have. It's okay that some of the patients are walking out. I think that should not be taken very personally. Is it okay to say no, that you cannot go below the particular discount? Okay, awesome. So as a private practitioner, ma'am, okay, we know we should do ethical private practice and we should not do unethical, but it is still not very clear what is ethical and what is unethical in both. Let's talk about first audiology and then maybe speech. What really is ethical private practice?
This one thing is I always really feel funny. Every individual thinks I'm ethical and that person is unethical. This is so incorrect. So incorrect. And unethical means what? Giving huge discount is unethical. Or, pushing for binaural is unethical. Making handshake with somebody is unethical. What is unethical? So these are the business strategies. They have nothing to do with ethics as such. But now we know we are bound to go with the MRP price. Okay. And you can sell anything below the MRP price. You can give 90% discount. Suppose 50,000 worth of the hearing aid, you can give 90% discount on that. But 50,000 rupees hearing aid, you cannot sell it for 60,000. That is unethical
That is
because
unethical.
we are with MRP. Now you remove the box, you change the price, you make changes, or the old stock you sell it for something else. Is the used hearing aid you sell it? Now it's so difficult to prove all those things, but at the same time, it's which are happening. We know it, but I can't point out who said who has done what and all other things. Warranty coverage, playing lies with that is unethical. So, and somewhere we all love to talk about malpractice and unethical. Means all the time I wonder about it. Why do we want to talk all the time about malpractice and unethical? Whole India is having, now getting diluted from all their value system. All, whether it's government services, whether it is competitive exam, whether you MPSC, UPSC, even teachers qualifying exam, everywhere you see the wrong things are happening. Everywhere. Now, all this, our Indian culture is changing drastically. It's what do you expect that, speech and hearing profession will just remain as most honest people? And honesty,
True.
values, or something, the road define, I want to walk on that. It's a personally driven values. They are not taught. You have to believe in it and practice it. I just cannot tell you all that you do this way. Everybody will nod, but they do whatever they want to do. So I think just ignore these all ethics, malpractice, and all other things. More you talk, more you are giving opportunity others to do it. We are giving more ideas about it. So I really don't want to talk all about, what is the wrong things are happening. And who are we to decide right and wrong? Because you just see the one side of it. The patient tells you Mrs. Mandke was doing, she did not do the hearing test. She just put on the hearing aid and she told me this is it and all. And you believe in that. You just, then the story is created. You know how Mrs. Mandke sells the hearing aid? She doesn't do the test. Can you
Testing
believe
only.
that? She gives lectures and then she also, but what is the proof? What is the proof you have? And when patient is with you, It's always a half story, because whatever is, is in his benefit or to get the sympathy out of it, he will tell you. And you don't know the other side of it. So why do we discuss all that? Yes, I think we should stop discussing all these issues. But time will come. If paid bhara hai na, then nobody will discuss anything. It's actually my demand, my dream, or my expectations are not met. And that's why then I'm making stories. Simple thing about it, we talk about, there are always stories, selling premium product. Premium, I'm talking about hearing aid worth of 2 lakh and above. Okay. So there are 3, 5, up to 8. But 2 lakhs also is a huge amount for Indian pocket. So for that purpose, I will consider is a problem. So everybody has a story. Everybody, she sells only premium product. These are the things and all. But can you believe at all India level, uptake of premium product is only 5%. Only 5% of the entire hearing aid market. Now in India, currently, 5 to 6 lakhs units are sold annually. Out of 5 to 6 lakhs, 50% are about that, government contract or charitable thing, or, make different projects are there in that, those hearing aids are there. So 50% go in that. So that, 2 to 3 lakhs are sort of in the open market. Now, the new entrant will not buy the premium product. Is the repeat buyer who is comfortable, is likely to upgrade, will do that. So suppose out of 2 to 3 lakhs, again you consider 60% are new buyers. So for 40% of the repeat buyers. Now out of 3 lakhs or 4 or 2 lakhs, out of 3, let's consider repeat buyers is 40%. So 1 lakh 20,000. Out of that, for 1 lakh 20,000, only 5% are the premium product. So what is it? It's affecting, and it's at all India level. So in Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and in metros, these are the more happening things are there because of the lifestyle, revenue generation, the wealth created, and all other things. Small cities or sleeping, that kind of a business will never happen. So how on the earth that Kalyani Mandke sells 100 units of premium product? It's not possible. But still we love to talk about it, that so and so. So how these stories are created? These are all imaginary stories, not the reality.
True.
And that's our frustration. That's our frustration.
Okay. So I think we should just follow our internal compass and just keep doing the right thing. That's what ethical means.
You make sure your patient will come back to you. That's the
Yes.
whole thing.
Okay, ma'am. So from private practice, just let's discuss about something else for our associations. So you have been part of ISHA at various with various responsibilities. You've seen ISHA over the so many years. So what has been your thought about ISHA? What difference it has made in for all audiologists and speech language pathologists till now, and what is there is still a scope for the association for the future?
Actually, I'm very thankful to Isha because Isha gave me the image. I was the first probably private practitioner who became a secretary of Isha. Thanks to Mr. Oza, he believed in me. This was in Delhi conference. There was some issues were discussed. A lot of heated discussion happened and all that. And Mr. Oza put a rider that with this condition that Kalyani takes over as a secretary, then we will think about it. So then I was made as an ad hoc secretary, and then the election later on, in few months later, took place, and that's all. So I am very thankful to Isha because it improved my thought process also. It sort of allowed me to travel across the country and learn a lot of new things as such. So that is my personal gain from Isha. But I really think, professional organizations are for professional upgrading, developing professional network, something, basically is professional learning only. Isha is not going to help private practitioners to build a practice. That's another misconception is that ISHA is not doing this and ISHA. What will ISHA do to develop a practice in Solapur district or something in Chittor and somewhere in Jharkhand? What is ISHA's role? So ISHA is sort of, you can give the guidelines, disseminate information. Isha can give what is the test battery, make it available to you all. That is the test battery. Use it. Isha can, strengthen weaknesses of people and guide you somewhere else. That. So we are sort of forgetting that Isha is not going to help us for a private practitioner. That is another misconcept about it. And other thing is, why do we need these crutches? So we want the crutches of ISHA, we want the crutches of RCI, we want the referred practice, so we want the crutches of ENTs or pediatrician. Why can't I make a standalone practice? This is another conflict because again, we have not done our homework, what I want to do and how I will go with it. That is a real problem. So Isha has come up very nicely because, of course, I don't want to tell you what was it before I took over the office and what are the things. But since then, documentation became more and more effective. And so there are many SOPs are there, many guidelines are given, do's and don'ts shown. Scope of practice is a wonderful document developed. Somewhere if at all we have to give a reference to someone, that is another thing. So a lot of good things. Monographs have come. So educational upgradation is also there. So, but we have to think, and most important of all, professional organizations have no legal standing. We forget that also. It's only IMA or Nursing Council has a legal standing, but all other professional, these are professional bodies for our, you know, development of our profession. That's it.
Yeah. So, ma'am, as you said, ki Isha is yes for our profession. Obviously, it is developed by us only for the betterment of our profession. But we expect more from RCI at least. Okay, so RCI being the statutory body who has created the whole profession of audiology, it is not only with respect to the for the academic purposes, but also for the renewing CRE points and so many things they are doing. So, if is it wrong to expect from RCI to help us to curb the non-professionals or get a legal support? So, shouldn't RCI help us for all these matters?
See, basically, again, the same thing happens, that RCI can then take action about the register members. Suppose Kalyani Mandke is doing something wrong in her practice, RCI can take action against Kalyani Mandke. But somebody, a non-qualified person, is doing something wrong, RCI has no role in that. And other than that, non-qualified professionals are in each and every field. I don't like to say the word quack as such, but because it has a little different connotation. You take it. We know it. Doctors are also practicing is illegally in different way. They are not certified and all other things. Same thing with the chartered accountant. Chartered accountant and bar council have the highest rules and regulation. You need to abide those very strongly. And if you fail in that, both the council do take a serious action. That is well known as such. But despite all that, these organizations are also facing problem that non-qualified people are doing certain things. Now, again, this whole thing is, we allowed them to do it. Okay, this is ethics. If it was taught from the school days, follow the rules, then it would have been better. But somewhere, how to follow those rules or what is something we always taught, give respect to the elderly, be honest to yourself, don't tell lies and all. And these are the, typical standard statement. And one stage came, people were tired of saying, that I don't want to do all that because I'm not gaining out of it. But to gain as a human being, as a person, what are my duties and responsibilities? I'll never explain. So even from the professional point of view. So that way, RCI cannot take any action against all that. Second part of it is we are far and few people in India with speech and hearing profession as such. Okay. It's a rough calculation, sort of, I can say. It's probably 15,000 professionals are in the country. Okay. Because our profession is very young. It's only 50, 60-year old. Initially, uptake of students was 20 and 30 and 50. Now it has gone to 40 plus. There are 80 plus programs are there who are accepting undergraduate students and all. So we have long way to go. Now, 50% of them might have gone abroad or settled or something. Few of them might have given up this profession also. We don't know about it. So let's say 15,000. Out of that, most of the people are into teaching program or hospital setups and all. In ideally private practice, if you really think about it, is 6 to 7,000 people are in the field. Or, the India is such a huge country. We know the length and breadth and the number of states, number of languages spoken. Are we reaching out to people? No. But the beneficiaries are all out there everywhere. There's somebody is taking the advantage of it. I always say nobody is going to wait for कि एक दिन मेरे गांव में एक ऑडियोलॉजिस्ट आएगा मुझे कान की मशीन देगा. The person is not going to wait for that. So
True.
whosoever supplies hearing aid, he will go there. So that's how the other people took that advantage. The mistake was ourselves. We did not really reach out to people, which we could have done in long time ago. We really did not, we depend all the time upon referrals. Somebody will refer to me. Then somebody will come to my clinic. Somebody will recognize that I'm a special person. But how would they know unless you reach out to them? How many of you have gone into interiors and given lectures, talked to special schools, talked to different hospital doctors and all that? Unless you create the orientation environment for those people, nobody is going to refer the case. It's the information is lacking. So that's why that, that when you talk about malpractice people or non-qualified people are there, we really don't know what is a number. I don't think
True.
there are 20,000 or 50,000 in that number. Everybody all the time thinks about it. There are so many, but find out how many are in Pune. We don't know that number also. How many are practicing it that way. So it is challenging. Now, from RCI point of view, these are my comments because a lot of things were not done as per our expectation for very long time. That was the reality. Again, the training program, it was driven by the training program people only. Training people program in charge never thought about private practitioners or awareness program, a lot of other things. Anyway, leave aside that. Now, recently, because a certain situation is changing, it was a wake up call to RCI. And suddenly everything is changed with one notification and everything. So now your CRE renewal can be, you have a cycle of 7 years. It's an automatic renewal once you have done 500 points and all other things. They could have done it all earlier also, but this was all, So, and Indian government, is less talk is better.
So I'm extending the same topic because certain situation happened. Now, the NCHP that we are discussing now, should we go with NCHP? I don't know if we really have the authority to go into NCHP. But what is your thought on this? Is that transfer if that happens?
So basically, the whole thing is just because some handful of people are thinking about it will not give you that option at all because RCI is a parliamentary act. So unless you make the amendment in the act, speech and hearing professionals will not be able to go anywhere. And think about the other way around, RCI will not allow us also to go. So because they have their all the powers because we are in, so that's other side of it. So that as simple as that, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
Secondly, unnecessarily we are following OT and PT people. We have not studied their role, their duties, how they are practicing, and all other things, and how many they are in, how in what numbers are there as such. So there are lot of limitations, shortcomings, lacunas, irregularity in programs. Ours is the only standardized program because of RCI. Across the country, we have all RCI approved program. OTPT, they do not have that kind of thing. Now it will start. So now all together in that council, Allied Health Council, there are 54 programs are there. So suppose you join, you will be 55th in that number. So the message is nobody is going to listen to you immediately because we will be the late walkers, So, and then there are many more certificate and diploma programs than degree programs. As against speech and hearing program over the time has developed the excellent hierarchy, undergraduate program, postgraduate program, specialization and PhD. That kind of ladder is not defined clearly in all other programs. So what are we achieving? So means what is the benefit and why do we want to follow somebody? Why can't we stand on ourselves and say this is the way it is? PT mein aisa hai, OT mein aisa hai and all. This is not right. Our needs and demands are different altogether.
Yes. So, ma'am, as you said, there are for one course, for example, physiotherapy, there are multiple programs. It can be just certification program of few weeks, or it can be a degree. So, do you think that if at all we go into NCHP, this kind of things can also happen in for audiology?
No. Now NCAHP means Allied Health Council's responsibility is to curb all those programs.
Okay.
So they are de-recognizing all this program. So basically, actually right now they are in the process of cleaning mechanism.
Okay.
Because
So
when
this
there is
happened good. Like whatever we are in the with respect to academics, we are in a much better position as compared to the other paramedical
absolute,
professions.
yeah, absolutely. I think whether it is, there are two, three things, in hospital setup, what kind of recognition one is getting versus what kind of service we are providing. Then there is another issue is about the salary structure. But those are individual programs. Say, suppose you think about railway ministry has a different salary structure versus social justice empowerment has a different salary structure. These are the issues need to be fought at that individual level. How can it be universalization of all those things? Then UGC scale is given to training program. Now the salaries are phenomenally improved. Means actually it's probably private colleges may not afford to do all that, but they have to abide with all those rules. So that, but those are the different issues altogether. Why do we want to equate everything? So it
Right.
is, yeah, I don't agree with all that. It's very difficult.
Okay. So with respect to the academic part, we are good with RCI. The salary part, I see some of the WhatsApp messages in the group that okay, the salary is given low. I think that has to be done at the individual level. But what about the private practice? Will anyway working at private practice be more legally protected if we enter into NCHP?
We are already legally protected. Who is stopping you? See, basically in Maharashtra, if you consider, you need to have shop act license.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, you are RCI register. Done.
There is a theory that if we go with NCHP, then it becomes very easy to have a legal proceeding against the malpracticing people or say non-professional people. What is your opinion about that?
See, in India, actually, no matter in which sector you are, legal process is very lengthy. You have to wait for 5 years, 10 years, even consumer court, which is supposed to be the simplest court, which is considered as common man's court, but something, is the lengthiest procedure. And once you file a suit in any condition and anywhere and all, it's wait and watch. So we really feel, that legal things will help us. But who is stopping you? And I consider myself, see, I have a shop at license, I'm RCI registered, I'm honest taxpayer, I have a GST number. So I'm fulfilling all the requirements. Now, how many people have GST registration? How many people are really regular taxpayer and, you know, filing their returns as such? They may not be doing all that. Then how do you consider,
Sure.
that I'm most ethical person and then somebody else, you follow your guidelines the best. I think we are all are very well protected. I don't
Hmm.
think, we are in any way. Nobody's going to close you to practice at all. Nobody's going to bring the shutter down. He has to have the valid reason for it.
Okay. So, ma'am, you always talk about the social responsibility. Okay. So every time we always think while working, तो इसमें से मुझे क्या मिलेगा? Okay. So, but at the same time, you have said on multiple platforms कि ASLP should start thinking what can be the social awareness we can bring. Recently, you had spoken about the DJs, what happened in during Ganpati festivals. As may not be a private practitioner, but as audiologists and speech language pathologists who doesn't have much contacts, who cannot have political influence, what are the things he or she can do to contribute for the social welfare?
It's again the personal values, whether you want to give back to society. If you want to give back to society, you will find out different avenues. There are a lot of things you can do. It's not always, directly related to profession. It can be something else. It's like simple thing, girl child education or marginalized groups, working with them or environmental awareness, something like green it's a green Pune, green Maharashtra, things like that, or teach English to one child or something as simple as that. So that gives a connection with yourself to the society. And that gives an access to reach out to people at different level. Then they will know who you are. Your identity is not with the nameplate of the shop where you are. You should be recognized as a person. Person should recognize you as Sadanand Gore, no matter where you go. And probably what I have achieved over the time is the recognition for my name, Kalyani Mandke, is something because I'm approachable, I'm accessible, I go and meet people, I talk to them as such. And of course, there are no returns in that as such. Monetary gain is zero. But what I feel is 20% of your time you can give very aram se. It's not very difficult. It's a commitment you decide when and how you want to do it as such. And there are a lot of things can be done. And it's for our own country, our own people. It's simple things, just, you join your mohalla committee, you join your, police department and help them for traffic things as such. Police will recognize you as a person, and that is more important than somebody, so we don't think about it on that way because again, what it has to do with speech and hearing profession, what am I going to gain out of it? You will be recognized as a human being, as a person with the name, and then your identity comes second, the speech. And I always feel the speech and hearing title, once you are graduate at the age of 20 or something, rest of your life that title is with you for 70, 80 years. You will be called as audiologist and speech
Yes,
pathologist. What else do you want?
true, true, true.
No engineer
Yes.
is called as engineer or something. No scientist is called for the rest of their life. It's a
Hmm.
profession we have given us this wonderful identity. हम जो सोचते हैं हमें क्या मिला? You got an identity as speech language professional.
Absolutely, ma'am. And ma'am, as you said, we get this identity for the lifetime. But now this new concept has come, especially in millennials like me or even Gen Zs. I see my father working even at 75. But somehow I feel, or even when I'm talking with the juniors, oh, I want to retire by 40, I want to retire by 38, I want to retire by 35. I'll earn so much. So this retire early, retire rich, this concept. So might have come from IITs. So is it a good way of conducting the work? And what's your opinion? How should we?
Basically, what should I say? Retire early, that means your second option should be ready. That is
Hmm.
something, a roadmap should be there because you retire at the age of 40, but then what you are going to do next 40 years? You cannot just go to Goa and spend time on beaches, or just go Mathiran and all. Okay, travel, you're done. What is next? How you are going to utilize your time? That kind of a map is not there. Secondly, somewhere this IT people thought about it, that I will make huge money. I will have some 4 crores and all. Then I can live on the interest. Our profession will not pay you that kind of a thing. So there is no point dreaming about you that. Don't equate yourself with IT people. These are two different programs. Again, I'm coming to the same thing. Person is not individually recognized, but we are recognized individually. So this is the really asset we have. So that's one part. Secondly, we are service providers. So it's a slow pace. It's not just steep growth as such. It's a gradual growth, maybe just 10%, 15% growth, but it will be steady for, 40, 50 years as such. And that will create a wealth. So that is the second part of it. Then you can decide whether you want to give 40 hours per week or 60 hours per week or 30 hours or something. Then in that case, you need to have a second line ready. But we don't train other people, because all the time we feel मेरा ज्ञान मैं किसी को नहीं दूंगा. But
True.
unless you train your second line or something, how somebody will look after your business? So that is going to be very challenging. And third most important part of it, people have the misconception of it. I will have 10 stores, I will have 5 stores, 7 stores, and then I will sell it off. Okay.
Hmm.
But there's value what you are going to get. Have you created a goodwill to cash on it? To have a goodwill, you need to be on that premises, that field, and catering your patient for 25, 30 years. Then the goodwill will get calculated, not in 5 to 7 years' time. That's very important part of it. Who will buy your business? Nobody is going to buy your business, because your business is run by your face. Move out of it, it has a zero value. Yes. We are not 100% traders. We are service providers. Service provider need to have a face, and that face only fetches the business. So you just can't say, I will walk out. You can reduce your number of hours. That is okay. But Sadanand Gore nameplate should be there. And then you can't
Hmm.
close it also. And most important of all, we are with people. And that gives such a tremendous satisfaction to make somebody happy. This is more rewarding than your bank balance. At 30s and 40s, yes, like bank balance is important, but values keep changing every decade. What you think in your 30s, the values are not same in 40s. What your dreams are in 40s will change in 50s and the 16, 17. Now I'm 70 plus. I can see the transition in me only, how my thought process have changed over the time. The family
Mhm.
commitment at that time, whatever the aspirations were different. Now I'm thinking differently. So give some time. Everything should not be in 10 years' time. And IT, now AI is grabbing everyone, So IT's future, even we don't know what's going to be. But we are safe.
True. We are safe.
So
True.
we hand in hand with AI, because AI is must, but we should be there. The face has to be there.
Okay, ma'am. So we have just couple of last questions. Uh, Over the period of time, in the last 3 decades specifically, we have seen a great deal in changes with respect to the hearing aid technology. So that has been definitely help us for increasing the patient satisfaction. But also you will see 20 years back, even 10 years back, we used to have a body level hearing aids. That is not there now anymore. Also, slowly the average sale price of all hearing aids are now increasing. So somewhere the patient, it becomes more unaffording for the patient. At the same time, there's a logic that company cannot keep the stock of body level because the repair costs are high, there are logistics and all, then profitability reduces. What is your say on these things?
See, basically, hearing at our high price, that's our own handicap. That is 101%. But again, going back to the same thing, that market size is very small. And that's why the prices are not really catching. Or you may be knowing about Bose, then Panasonic, and who else? Sony. Many had entered into this market as different devices. They were not calling at that time hearing aid, but a personal listening device and all with the concept. Everybody closed down. I think Resound also had Jabra or something that has closed down. Apple came with something. This is not a hearing aid, but this is a substitute at all. It has not made a dent also. So that means why worldwide this is a scenario. Worldwide. Now there is another interesting part of it, The right now I can't quote exactly the year. The hearing aid was manufactured in 1895 or somewhere in that range. So audiology was not in the picture. Suppose we consider 1895. So now it's almost 19 decade, and now it's another. So 130 years have
Yes.
gone. Audiology actually became as a profession after World War II. So that is 1948. Okay. Now in audiology, audiologists were not allowed to dispense hearing aid till 1970 or 80. I think 80. I was in US that time. Yeah. And
Okay.
at that time, American Speech and Hearing Association took a bold decision of saying, that audiologists should be given a option of dispensing hearing aid. So the hearing aid market was always in somebody's hand. It was never in audiology hand. And now also is not clearly the rules worldwide, European countries, America, Australia, nowhere it says is only audiology. Now the pioneering people, means James Jurger, Karat, or you name all those people. So it is going to be, they're saying that only monaural hearing aid should be given, not binaural, because it's a commercial, activity. Now we know binaural hearing is so important, but these are the people at that time believed in monaural fitting. I think we had a lot of hurdles to pass. It's really going to take long time to change. It's not easy at all. So somewhere things will change, hopefully. Till that time, go with the flow. And that's why don't give good a heavy discount and survive with whatever the sale we are doing it. Things will be better.
Okay, ma'am, I think you have, given such great insights. I want to ask this last question. So you actually covered this question already, but you still have some more points. So you have gone through such a long career. Okay, so but if you want to give that one single message to practitioners like me or youngsters who are just passing out from the college.
It's a wonderful profession. It helps to change somebody's life. You become the cause for it. It gives us satisfaction. So a lot of things are there. Best part is we don't have to handle any emergencies. We can do wonderful things on weekends. So have wonderful, relaxing weekend and work Monday to Friday or whatever things is there. 40 hours per week is honest work, and things will be, you can touch the horizon, so
Right,
many things you can do.
right, absolutely. So basically, we should be fortunate enough to be in the field. There are a lot of advantage. I think somewhere we are not seeing those advantages. Once we put ourselves in other profession shoes, maybe then I'll realize ki what are the things they go through, and then maybe we'll start thanking our profession. And regarding prior practice, as you discussed that, I think there are a lot of unnecessary thoughts we are just thinking, which doesn't really require our attention. And it is just that we should just keep doing the things we can do and not think of the things about which are not in our hand. So great, ma'am. Thank you so much for this podcast. Thanks for coming and giving such great, wonderful insights.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you very much for giving this opportunity. You are doing a wonderful job. This is your specialty now. See what best you can do to profession. This is
Yes.
something you are doing wonderful thing, reaching
Yes.
out to people. That's how many things can be explored, can be done. We are not really, thinking in different way. Out of box thinking is this is what you are doing. So I have a lot of appreciation for your work. Keep
Thank
doing
you, ma'am.
that. you will create a dent, helping many
Definitely.
more professionals. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Thank you so much. If you have listened till the end, congratulations. I want to hear from you. What were the biggest learnings from the podcast? Share it in the comment below. Also, tell me which guest would you like to invite me on the next podcast. Comment your suggestions. Thank you.